I stared at the text again, the glow of my phone cutting through the dark kitchen. We don't trust you anymore. Funny. I had trusted them with everything, bled for them, covered every bill they refused to pay, smiled while they whispered my failures behind my back. And now this? A lock change, a code reset, the subtle dagger of exclusion? Smart move, I typed back, but you missed one thing. I remembered the first time I met them. The way their laugh filled the room like sunlight breaking through blinds. The way I believed in us, in the future we were sketching together on napkins at midnight diners. I believed they saw me, really saw me. And maybe they did, until they didn't. Until the whispers, the half-truths, the veiled disdain. The first sign was a glance that lingered too long at my sister, my trust, my generosity. Small discrepancies, late replies, abrupt exits, subtle secrets. But my gut, my quiet intuition, held the truth before I could even name it. And then the text, the truth crystallized. Betrayal, plain as daylight. I didn't scream, I didn't confront, I didn't crumble. I sat down. I calculated. I mapped every weakness, every dependency, every legal and financial blind spot they had exposed by underestimating me. They had handed me the exact leverage I needed, wrapped in their own arrogance. For weeks, I moved like a ghost, invisible in plain sight. Every payment I had quietly made on the house, gone. Every loophole in the joint accounts, the forgotten signatures, the unmonitored insurance policies, I exploited. I made calls, signed forms, verified documents. I was precise, ruthless, not impulsive, but deliberate. 2 days ago, I hit send. The mortgage I had been quietly covering, canceled. Every penny they assumed was secure, vanished from the ledger. I watched as the system processed it, automatic, irreversible. They had given the house to my sister thinking they'd silenced me. They had built walls and codes thinking they could lock me out. But walls are only effective if you ignore the foundation. Then came the lawyer's email, urgent. We have a problem, it said, each word screaming the panic I had long anticipated. I smiled. Not out loud, not theatrically. A private, cold smile that filled the room like winter sunlight through frost. Too late. It was already theirs to lose. I returned to the kitchen and imagined their faces when they realized it. The disbelief, the shame, the fear that I had quietly been orchestrating a collapse from within. I didn't rub it in, not physically. The law would do that for me. The ledger would do that. Their panic, however, would be exquisite. When I finally confronted them, it wasn't with a shout. I let them stumble through their own realization. Their hands, which had once held mine with warmth, trembled over the lock codes they had changed. I stood still, calm, collected. Funny, I said softly. You tried to lock me out. You missed a few signatures. I watched the color drain from their face, the collapse of their carefully constructed world in real time. Every word, every subtle shift in their expression fed the satisfaction that had been building quietly, steadily for weeks. I walked through the house one last time, watching my sister's new tenants, the house that had felt like betrayal itself. And I felt the weight lift. Not revenge in chaos, but revenge in quiet, unassailable control. They had underestimated the patience it took to craft inevitability. I lit a cigarette on the porch, inhaled deep, and let it go. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. Justice had been executed with precision. I had been betrayed, yes, but I had also risen. And in that rise, I had found clarity, empowerment, and a vengeful kind of peace. Sometimes they would call. Sometimes the lawyer would email again. But I wouldn't answer. I didn't need to. The house, the mortgage, the leverage, they were all reminders that I had played a long game. and I had won. Every lock, every code, every carefully hidden document, I had turned it against them with surgical exactness. They thought they were in control. I proved they were only ever pawns in my design. And now, standing in the quiet aftermath, I realized I wasn't just free, I was untouchable.